Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we have a Game Boy Pocket which has seen better days. As you can see from this one, she's pretty bad. Everything about it's just been well used, and then it's obviously been left in the sun. Screen's gone on it. So what we're going to do, we're just going to pull this thing apart. Won't even try seeing if it works. I'll do that later once we get it apart, but what we'll do is we'll see if we can get this thing fixed. Hopefully it's just a polarizer on the screen, get that polarizer replaced, and then we'll give it a new lease of life with a nice aftermarket case. Right, so let's get started. Right, first thing we'll do is we have 6 tri-wing screws, 4 there and 2 in the battery compartment. So we'll take those off first, and then we'll go to the next step. All the screws are out. So the next thing we do is you just slowly just pry that off, that cover, and then you've got the insides. There. It's actually looking pretty good inside. Not too bad. What I'll do now is I'll undo the 3 Phillips screws. It's actually missing one, so maybe the 2 Phillips screws. There's meant to be another one there. And also we'll pop off this ribbon cable. And again, how you do that is you just push it up and just pull it out that way. There we go. So what we'll do the ribbon cable first. So again, it's just these little lock tabs that you just push up there like that. And then once I undo these screws, we'll be able to lift the board out and there'll be nothing holding it. Right, so the screws are out. So all you do is you lift your board up, and because we've got these tabs out, we can just slide that out. And there's our board. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Just needs a bit of a clean. Maybe on these pads here might need a bit of a clean, but it doesn't look too bad. We'll test that shortly to see if the motherboard's all right. The screen's going to be an issue, so it's not actually stuck in very well at all. Normally you sort of just twist the case like that and sort of get a corner up, but this one doesn't even seem to be stuck in. Not really. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. There we go. Get that corner up there. Just get your nail under it, and it's pretty bad. That's what happens when you leave them out in the sun, or just time, just with a bit of sunlight on it. It just wrecks it. Actually, that's just sitting on there. So that should. Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect. Well, that's good. The screen doesn't look too bad. We'll clean this up, and we'll do that after we've tested this board, but it doesn't actually look too bad. We might be able to save this. So first we'll get the benchtop power supply ready, and we'll test this. First thing I'll do actually is I'll just give it a bit of a quick clean with isopropyl alcohol, toothbrush, try and get rid of some of this excess flux at the bottom, just to give us a better chance of actually getting this thing going. Just like so, just give it a good clean, especially in the switch area. And same on this side, just give it a light spray and just give it a good clean. That way we know that if we do test it, at least we've given it a clean, and hopefully we shouldn't have any issues with it. Right, I've got the benchtop power supply hooked up, just powering at 3 volts to it. Turn the volume up, and let's see how we go. There we go. So we know, at least we know that works. The power switch is a little bit funny there, so we might just have to give that a bit of a clean as well. But at least we know the motherboard works. It's a good sign. We might just hook up the screen temporarily and just see if that works as well. Right, so now I've got this screen hooked up. I've got a little polarizing film here. Put that on top, and yeah, I think the screen might be gone by the look of this. We'll turn it on and have a look. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's got horizontal lines on it. I think that screen is stuffed. So what I might do is go through my polar screens, find another one, and we'll test it with that. Got another screen. This one's similar sort of thing. Polarizer was burnt on it, but I have scraped away a little bit here, and it looks all right underneath the glue. So it's still got that purple thing, but I think we might be okay with this one. Yeah, it's not looking bad. So what we'll do now, we'll unhook all of this, and we'll concentrate on cleaning up the screen, getting all the glue off, and then we'll test it again just to make sure the screen's going to be good. All I do with these screens, just to get the glue off, is I just use IPA, isopropyl alcohol. I just spray that on, and then I usually just get a craft knife like this, just extend it out, and it's a bit dirty, but I usually just scrape away, just carefully staying away from the ribbons. And it's quite quick. It doesn't actually take too long to do, so I'll quickly do that now and show you the end result. Right, managed to clean that up. It came out really well, actually. You can see there. So what I'll do is we'll pop it back on the motherboard, and we'll give it another test with the polarizer just to make sure it's all good. Right. Power supply's on, polarizer's on. Let's give it a go. Oh, look at that, beautiful. That's awesome. Well, at least we know that's good to go. Still got at that faulty power switch, so I'll do that next. One thing I've got to do is put the polarizing filter on properly. And make sure it's dust free. Now these can either go good or they can go bad. We're about to find out. And that one, not too bad. Just grab this, just give it a bit of a wipe, try and get any air bubbles out. You're always going to get sort of little bits in the corners and that, but that doesn't really matter because it doesn't use the full screen on these. If you can just get them the best you can, like so, and that's actually looking pretty good. It has got a little bit of a bubble on this side. I'll just try and push that out. Must be something under there, but it's right on the edge of the screen, so I don't think it's going to matter. I think we should be right. And then all we do is we just pull the top layer off like that. That's come off, and there we have it. Nice new polarizer on the screen. I popped it all up back again. I know I test them quite a few times, but there's nothing worse than putting it all together and finding that you've missed something out. So let's just give it another go now that it's got the polarizer on there properly. Look at that. Awesome. Right, we need to fix that switch now. That'll be the next thing to do. Right, now as we've seen in other videos, these things are a pain to pull off because they're just soldered on each end, but they do have these little clips that sort of clip underneath the bottom of the switch as well. But we'll see how we go. We'll see if we can just unsolder the corner. It's a bit dirty. There we go. Just so hard to get to come off nicely. You can see it's come loose, but it's still hooked on the bottom of the switch. So you've got to sort of do that. You've got to sort of lift it that way and up, which has now worked. Right, so I'll pop that open. And yeah, that's the problem with our switch. It's very, very dirty. So we'll just give that a clean, and then put it back together. I just get these little, got these little sticks with a bit of cotton bud stuff on the end, and I just spray a bit of IPA on it, and then just give them a really good clean. You can push quite hard down on these bits here. Do that, and then just a little bit more IPA, and you can just slowly, just carefully, very carefully, just give those little contacts a clean there, just so they're nice and shiny. Right, that should be us. So all we need to do is put the switch back together, just drop that back in there, and then we just push that down, and we'll solder that back on, and I'll do that. Right, now that that's all done, what we will do now is we will grab this case, the new one. It's already put the buttons, I've already put the buttons and the rubbers in place, but what we need to do is just grab the little sticky piece here and slot it into this one, and that'll just hold our screen in place. And all I do is I just get a pair of tweezers and just get into the corner. Usually you can lift one corner up like that, and just pull it up around. There we go. Just bring our new one in and just put it in the same place, pretty much. Just give it a push down. It really just holds the screen in place until we get the thing together. Now that that's done, we can grab our screen that we've fixed. Goes around that way. We can drop them in. This one's got a little piece holding it. There we go. Push it down so it's nice and flush. So it's just pushing onto that sticky piece. Cool, that's all done there. Now that that's in place, we'll pop our new screen on. What we'll do is we'll make sure we've got no dust, anything floating around in there. And just peel this off. Pop that into place. It has got another protective layer on top of that. We won't remove that till we're all finished. But that's all done. And one thing I have noticed is this is an early version of the Game Boy Pocket. So it doesn't have an LED. And these cases do have the hole for an LED through them, through there. So what we'll do is we'll add an LED to this board. Quite easy to do. I'll show you how to do it. And that way it'll look like the later model one with the LED built into it. Right, there's a few different ways you can go about this. What I do is, like, you can get a 3mm LED, but sometimes they are still a bit too high, so I buy these ones which are like a 3mm, but they're a flat top. You can see that there. But it's a flat top LED, and that's good because it fits nicely. And then also use an 18K very small resistor to go in line with that. And I'll show you where I put them. Because what we need to do is we need to put the LED in the place of like where that circle is, because that's where the LED is on the later model boards. So we need to put it there. So I'll show you what I do. So what I do here, I've got my power supply hook back up, turn that on. We'll turn on the switch. There we go, it's made the ding noise. And I'll just get the multimeter. So we just need a negative and a positive. So we know this is our negative, and the ring that sits on is negative as well. So at least we know we can connect the negative leg through into this pad. But then we've got to find a power supply. I mean, you can take it off the switch if you wanted to. You know, you've got your power going there. But I found one of these little tiny things here has the voltage we need. So the bottom of that one actually has 5 volt coming from it. That's perfect. So that that'll give us our power for our LED. And the one that does it is I think it's a resistor or a capacitor, one of the two. It's the one right next to this port here, and it's the bottom of that one. So there's 5 volt coming out of that, and our negative's there. So it's nice and close. So all I do is I just get my resistor and I just sort of tap it onto the bottom of that one there, and then put the LED through. And of course, on an LED, the long leg is your positive. And I always sort of just put it on the side of the board. I'll quickly show you how I do that. So what I've done is I've poked the negative leg through and just put a little blob of solder, done that. And then I bend the positive leg like so and make sure it's not touching the gold ring. And then we can just wrap it around like that. And then we can connect the positive leg to the resistor, which then goes to the bottom of that little chip. Right, sorry guys if the sound's gone funny, my microphone's gone flat. So I have now bent that over, soldered it onto the resistor, which then just goes to the bottom of that, I think it's a capacitor, and it should be all go. We'll quickly just hook up the power supply and double check. And we should have, and we do, a red LED. Done. Right, what's left to do now is put this thing all together in its new case. We'll do that. First thing we'll do is we'll plug in the screen. Lift that up, not quite out. It's better. Fiddly fingers. Right. Get that in there, and then push down these tabs, hold it in place. Done. And then we just want to make sure that our buttons are all lined up. Speaker drops in there, like so. And everything needs to line up as it does. There we go. So what I'll do now is I'll put 3 screws. There was one missing before. I'll put 3 screws in here, and we'll get on to the next stage. Got the screws in, grab the back, and all it does is it just slides over top once the springs, the battery connections line up, and just pushes down like that. And we'll pop our 6 tri-wing screws back in. Right, I've popped in some batteries, and I've popped in Super Mario Land. Let's give this a go. Perfect. Everything seems to be working nicely. Now, finishing touches, stickers on the back. We'll do that now. So what we're going to do now, just pop on a little sticker that comes with the case. Try and line it up best we can. A little bit tricky, but it's nice if you can get them straight. That one. And I just buy these from AliExpress as well. Just serial numbers for them, just to make them, finish them off, just to make them look good. Pop that one in there. There we go, done. So that's, now we've got a nice working Game Boy Pocket, and yeah, it looks good with the new case. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'll upload every week. Every Friday I'll upload a new video. Thank you.